Hello, in this video we're going to talk about how to derive the present value of an annuity formula. I'm going to talk about present value, and then there's a spreadsheet that is a calculator for present value that you can use in the description below, and that will be a time saver for you. So let's talk about present value. What is present value? Well, if I were to give you $100 in a year from now, and I was going to give you $100 2 years from now, and I'm going to give you $100 3 years from now, and I'm going to keep giving you money, $100 for n number of years. Well, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to need to receive some amount of money today. And how much money do I need to receive today before I'm willing to be giving you $100 from now on? Well, if let's say this was 10 years, if n is 10 years, then that would mean that there's no interest, because for 10 years I'm going to be giving you $100, and today I want you to pay me $1,000. Yeah, well, that would be a little bit odd, because you might not want to do that. You might not want to give me $1,000 today and start receiving $100 from now on. And the reason why is because you could take this $1,000 and you could stick that in a bank account, a savings account or stock market or whatever, and earn some kind of interest, some return on your investment here. And that amount of money would then be worth more than $1,000 when you get to 10 years from now. So what you'd want to do is you'd want to be earning some kind of interest rate to make this worth it for you, so that you're going to be making money out of this transaction. And that is essentially called present value, because the present value is worth more than the nominal value in the future. You got to discount it by some kind of interest rate. So that's the idea of present value. And now let's talk about how to derive the formula. Well, in our previous video, we figured out that future value is the sum of all the annuity payments, cash flows, that we have been receiving interest on, and how much money do we have at the end of our time period. And we figured out that the formula is this down here. This is the formula that we ended up with. Well, if we know that this is the future value and this is the formula, and we can actually discount the future value back to the present. And this is really interesting, because the present value formula is just this. Present value is equal to the future value times 1 over the discount rate. And if we can just plug and chug this into future value, that super simplifies the amount of work that we have to do, because now we're just left with this. One plus r power n minus 1. And now if we put 1 plus r to the power of n into here, I'm going to distribute that. We end up with 1 plus r Yeah, so now that we've done that, we can see that there's some terms here that we can actually get rid of because they cancel out. So this is going to cancel out with this, so that leaves us with 1. And we can write this out in a less messy way. I'm going to rewrite this in a nicer way because I don't like to have negative exponents in the top. You can rewrite that like this, 1 plus r to the power of n. So this is our present value of an annuity formula. It's a lot easier than writing out all of the different cash flows and figuring out how much you have to discount them by individually when you can just write it like that. If it was a bond, for example, then you would have a payment of principal at the very end, which would be, I don't know, some principal over 1 plus r to the power of n. But that's specifically for bonds, and that's just where you're receiving a lump sum at the very end. This is the present value of an annuity. This is the amount of money that you're going to be getting. And now I'm going to show you a spreadsheet that you can use. This here is the present value of an annuity calculator that you can use. If we're assuming you have the present value of an annuity with the exact same cash flow every time, you will see that this is the formula that we just derived. And if you wanted to change the cash flows up, not so much an annuity, but I guess annuity different cash flows, you can use this one as well. This calculates the present value. You can see that the longer in the future you have, the more you have to discount the amount of money, and then this is the sum of all of the cash flows. So hopefully that was helpful, and we'll see you next time.